49ers Report Mailbag coming your way, where I take all of your 49ers related questions as we go live every single Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so right now by going to youtube.com/49erstv or hit that red subscribe button down below. We are closing in on 44,000 subscribers. We start off this mailbag with this question coming in from Niner Faithful. He watches our live show every week. Should the 49ers start Talanoa Hufanga next to Ward instead of Tart? Well, with Jaquiski Tart out, Talanoa Hufanga has been getting the starts, and he's been getting a lot of reps. And with those continued reps, he has shown flashes of being a very capable safety. I've always liked him coming out of USC because of his positional versatility. He can play safety, he can play linebacker, he can play special teams. He made a really nice play and a good read, an early read at that, on that pass play to Darrell Henderson Jr. last night, able to stick him with a monster hit. I like what I've seen in flashes from Talanoa Hufanga, and I think moving forward, he has earned himself more playing time. Garcia Brothers next up. Chase, who do you think is the greatest 49ers coach of all time, Bill Walsh or George Seifert? Has to be Bill Walsh. Has to be Bill Walsh. I mean, that was the golden era, not just for this franchise, but one of the best runs and eras of any franchise in National Football League history. His development with Joe Montana was terrific, and really that set up the momentum that then carried over into what happened with that run with Steve Young as well as Jerry Rice. Bill Walsh was really ahead of his time in terms of the West Coast offense, but also identifying talent from a scouting perspective. So I have to go Bill Walsh there. James Randolf. Did Shanahan redeem himself or play his run scheme on the backs of the playmakers? I thought he redeemed himself. I was looking at social media after the game. I was working off adrenaline from our watch party, and I was just really impressed with what Kyle Shanahan was able to do. And that's why you don't fire Kyle Shanahan, because of how he called that game last night. That 90-plus yard drive to start the game that lasted 11 minutes was awfully impressive, rotating backs in and out of the lineup, whether it was Jeff Wilson, Elijah Mitchell, or Deebo Samuel, even coming up with the ideas and the creativity to utilize Deebo Samuel at running back was awesome. All that pre-snap motion. I thought in the pass game, there were a lot of good plays. Jimmy Garoppolo was clicking. He looked confident, and I think he was confident because Kyle Shanahan made him feel confident. So Shanahan certainly redeemed himself. The next step is to see this from a more consistent basis. He didn't give away game balls because he's like, yo, the way that we played tonight, that is the standard. And I like that mentality, but Kyle Shanahan, my message to you, that's the standard that we want to see from you week in and week out, because he has potential to be one of the best coaches in the NFL. Jeremy Leake, need 10 wins to make the playoffs? 17-game slate. I think if you go 9-8, you can still make it. I think 10 wins definitely gets you in, but it's going to be close in what is a very crowded NFC playoff picture. You get 10 dubs, and it's looking pretty for the Niners to make it back into the big dance for the first time since that Super Bowl season in 2019. Chase Jr. with this question. That's funny because when I tell people that my name is Chase Sr., they're always like, are you going to name your son Chase so that he's Chase Sr. Jr. and you're Chase Sr. Sr.? My response to that is always no. Why would I do that to him? Because he's going to get bullied throughout his entire upbringing. But Chase Jr. asking this question, what are the 49ers' biggest draft needs? I think it's pretty evident. It's cornerback. I hated when they passed over Asante Samuel Jr. for Aaron Banks. I said it at the time. I'm going to maintain that position because Asante Samuel Jr. in his rookie campaign out of Florida State has been really, really good for the Los Angeles Chargers, whether that be in man coverage or in zone. He's been awesome for Brandon Staley's defense. So I think without a first-round pick, you really have to target some cornerbacks. You have to target offensive line. How does Mike McGlinchey come off that torn right quad? Do you have confidence in Jalen Moore and Aaron Banks as draftees from that 2021 draft class? So I think those are the two areas of need for the Niners going into draft time. I voice my opinions. What do you think, though, Niner gang? Let me know right now. What position in the comment section do you want the 49ers to target in the draft? I'm looking at offensive line. I'm looking at secondary. I think they're pretty good at the linebacker spot. Safety maybe, but that's more of a luxury position. I'm doing some more thinking here. Some depth at wide receiver, although I kind of like Trent Sherfield there. Maybe you move on from a guy like Mohamed Sanu. You moved on from Jalen Hurd. Running back, I think you're set. Everybody likes to rip apart this 49ers roster. I think it's pretty stacked with premium talent and some depth. They need some depth in certain areas, but I do like this 49ers roster as a whole. So obviously you've been watching the 49ers Report for years right here on YouTube, but we also did pair up with Amazon Alexa, and every single week we do previews for all NFL games every single week on a weekly basis, myself and some of my Chat Sports colleagues. You can find our NFL game previews on your Alexa or Fire Stick devices every single week. So all you have to do is go, hey, Alexa, play the 49ers 2-minute drill, and our 2-minute previews, a minute preview dedicated for each team in that matchup is available on your Amazon Alexa devices. So those of you who have Fire Stick, those of you who have Amazon devices, hey, check out our previews because we've been grinding here at Chat Sports. And if you like what we're doing here on YouTube, you can check us out on those devices as well. David Delgado, 49ers, with Kirkpatrick gone, is the rookie DB from Oregon going to play now? So we're recording this during our live show on Tuesday. We go live every week, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. Dre Kirkpatrick was released on Tuesday. So does that mean that Deommodore Lenoir, the rookie cornerback from Oregon, is going to play more? I thought he showed a lot of ability in the preseason. He's a physical corner who I thought really thrived and flourished in the preseason. He got a lot of playing time in week 1, made a couple of mistakes in coverage, and Kyle Shanahan was like, I'm done with these rookies. Let's bring in some veterans. Rookies are going to the bench. I'd love to see Deommodore Lenoir play more. I'd like to see Ambry Thomas play more. Both guys were active on that Monday Night Football game against the Los Angeles Rams. Hopefully they start to play and get groomed a little bit more moving forward. Alpha Doctor 20, what's up with Trey Sermon and Aaron Banks? So both were active last night. Trey Sermon basically didn't play at all. I saw him in there on a couple of return plays. Aaron Banks got a couple of snaps, but not that many. I just think that Trey Sermon and Aaron Banks haven't earned the trust of Kyle Shanahan, and sometimes it's very hard to earn the trust of Kyle Shanahan, and sometimes also when you lose that trust, you get into the doghouse like what happened with Brandon Ayuk, like what has happened in the past with a guy like Dante Pettis. Trey Sermon, Aaron Banks, they have ability. That's why they were selected in the 2nd and 3rd rounds this past NFL draft. I think they still have ability. I think they can contribute, but they haven't earned the trust of this coaching staff just yet. PA Niner Fan 87, why did they allow Josh Norman to see the football field still? Yeah, when he was matched up against Odell Beckham Jr., I know Odell could be washed. I'm not sure. Not willing to firmly say that OBJ can't play anymore, but I was like, OBJ against Josh Norman? Yeah, that is a mismatch. I know it was a rivalry like 5 years ago when both of them were in their primes. No longer the case anymore. But Josh Norman, he's washed. He gets penalized. He's undisciplined like he did against the Arizona Cardinals. I personally would play Deommodore Lenoir ahead of Josh Norman, but maybe with Dre Kirkpatrick being let go, we're going to start to see those rookies a little bit more. The homie Wet Noodle 187, any new news when Banks will crack the starting lineup? No, and especially after last night with how good Daniel Brunskill played against Aaron Donald. And throughout his career, Daniel Brunskill has played very, very well against one of the best defenders in the history of the NFL in Aaron Donald. So when Brunskill plays like he did last night, the 49ers coaching staff, they turn on the tape and they're like, man, he had some potential. And when he plays like that, it doesn't make it any easier for Aaron Banks to play. And that should be fine for this organization and for the fan base if Brunskill can play like he did. Here's the problem, though. He's been a backup for a reason. Hasn't been able to be consistent enough. Got a Pro Football Focus grade in the 60s, so the analytics show you he's not all that great, but last night on Monday Night Football, he certainly was very, very good. Be sure to subscribe to the 49ers Report by Chat Sports as we continue to grow like crazy. I took over this channel after the NFL draft in April, and we have grown rapidly. That's why we're one of the largest 49ers channels on YouTube and the largest 49ers News and Rumors channel on YouTube. We're approaching 44,000 subscribers, so be a part of the faithful family here at Chat Sports by hitting that red subscribe button down below. Today's sponsor, it is BetUS, and in a few moments, we're going to get you hooked up with a free San Francisco 49ers jersey. All you got to do, go to chatsports.com/49bet, enter the promo code Niners125. You put in $100, you get $125 back from BetUS, and if you're a first-time user, we'll send you a free 49ers jersey. Here are the steps on your screen, chatsports.com/49bet, enter the promo code Niners125, sign up, deposit, get that 125% deposit back. Lay down a bet. Then you email us, jersey@chatsports.com, letting us know that you followed all of those steps, and we will send you free 49ers gear that you can hang up in your closet, and 365 days a year, you can rock a free 49ers jersey. Right now, all sizes and colors available for Nick Bosa, Trey Lance, and George Kittle. So sign up right now by going to chatsports.com/49bet. If you need to take a screenshot of this list right here, just do that. Follow those steps, then email us, jersey@chatsports.com, letting us know that you followed those steps, and we'll send you and get you hooked up with the free 49ers jersey. Alpha Doctor 20, who was the MVP from last night? Couple guys you can go with. Jimmy Ward, you can go with Kyle Shanahan, Deebo Samuel, Jimmy Garoppolo, all those guys played well, and of course Kyle Shanahan coached very well. EBC with another question, as these questions are coming in hot during this mailbag. Shanahan is here to stay. Also John Lynch. Does a horrible GM draft the best linebacker in the third round, Warner, draft a top 5 wide receiver in Deebo, trade for the best left tackle in Trent Williams, and draft a franchise running back in the 6th round? See, that's the thing. And all teams across the NFL will have draft misses. It's an inexact science. Bill Belichick misses in the draft all the time. Some of the best coaches in the NFL miss in the draft. But you also have to give credit where credit is due, because they did hit on some of those picks. Now, the Dante Pettis pick, bad. Jalen Hurd pick, bad. Mike McGlinchey, bordering on bad. Javon Kinlaw, jury's still out, but he's gotten injured a lot to start his career coming out of South Carolina. But at the same time, they've had some hits as well. Venom. Hopefully the 49ers beat the Jaguars, because it would suck to lose to a team that bad. Chases the GOAT. You're the GOAT for watching our show. Appreciate you greatly. Is that a Squid Games picture? No? It kind of looks like it. I don't know what it is, but Squid Game, very good show on Netflix. Ruthless. Yeah, if the 49ers lose to the Jags, I will not be in a good spot. I can definitely say I will be in shambles. Leap ZX2. Jeff Wilson, 100-yard game against the Jags. If Elijah Mitchell can't play, he'll have opportunities to carry the rock. Elijah Mitchell underwent surgery on Tuesday to get a pin put in his finger because he broke it, is expected to play, expected to practice, this week. His status for the game, unknown. If he doesn't go, Jeff Wilson will get a lot of carries. I would imagine Trey Sermon would as well. Maybe even we'll see Deebo Samuel toting the rock as well. Speaking of that game, good job by Coop for putting this up. Who you got? Type JAC for the Jags, type SF for the 49ers. It is prediction time here on the 49ers Report, so get those predictions in the comment section down below. 49ers are 7-point favorites. No excuse, really, to lose this game. They have to dominate. I know the Jags have gotten better under Urban Meyer. Nobody wants to say it. I will, but hey, I'm going with the Niners. About a minute left. Hitman L. Can we start the Deebo for MVP conversation? Yes, but wide receivers don't win MVPs. They really do just go to quarterbacks. It's a quarterback award. So can Deebo be one of the best wide receivers in the league? Maybe not. Maybe even the best? Yes, but I don't think he's going to win the MVP. Hitman L, I do like the sarcasm there, though. Luke Jones, do you think that this is a wake-up call that we can still be a good team and play like a contender? Yes, I think the Niners can be a good team. I've been saying this all year. They have underperformed and they have undercoached, but they're 4-5 right now. A couple of those losses, I'm thinking about the Green Bay loss. Should have won that one. Could have beaten Seattle. Could have beaten the Arizona Cardinals. All of those one-score games. And if those become wins, we're talking about a totally different season. We're talking about this team in a totally different fashion, but here's the deal. 6th easiest schedule from here on out. So they have an opportunity to stack up a lot of wins, and I'm hoping that the 49ers are going to be able to do that. Before we get out of here on this mailbag, make sure you give me a follow on Twitter at Chase_Senior. I tweet out all the videos that we push out. I tweet out all the latest news and rumors about the 49ers, some game film, all 22 film. So hit me up, slide in my DMs, interact with me at Chase_Senior.